More than anything, Chris, I think I just got a lot of confirmation about what I believed about America. Look, this is a big, diverse country. People have a lot of strong opinions. There are a lot of differences, but at their core, Americans are hardworking. They are self-reliant. They are decent. They look after one another. And, no matter where you go in the country, you just end up meeting people who are doing incredible things in their communities. They're working hard. Obviously, we've had 4 tough years with the economic crisis that we went through, but watching the resilience of the American people and bouncing back from hardship has been remarkable. The other thing I know is that one of the big unifiers in this country is sports and football in particular. You don't go to any place where folks don't talk about some football.
Well, that's true. It keeps some of us employed. 4 years ago when we spoke, Mr. President, you called for a college football playoff. Now, you got that done. It starts in 2 years with 4 schools involved, but did they go far enough?
Promises made, promises kept. This was something I said needed to get done, and this is the kind of change you can believe in. But I'd like to see it actually go to 8. I'll be honest with you.
Bigger question. Are your hometown Chicago Bears good enough to win the Super Bowl?
Yes, they are. Best defense in the league right now. You saw yesterday's game, and Tillman may be Defensive Player of the Year the way he's playing.
As you know, it is very hard to repeat in sports. It's also hard to repeat in a presidential election. So what's the common thread between you, Mr. President, and those special championship teams that will allow you to win back-to-back elections?
I really do believe that it has to do with staying focused, and it has to do with not getting distracted by your own hype or the critics. It's interesting. Political reporters are a lot like sports reporters, and you lose a game and you're a bum. You win a game, you're a god. And the truth is that just like in sports, in politics, we're all human. We make mistakes. Sometimes we perform well, but the key is to just stay focused on what it is that you're doing. And in sports, it's about winning championships. Interesting, in politics, it's not winning elections. It's making sure that you're delivering for the folks who sent you.
Our thanks, of course, to President Obama. And our thanks to Governor Romney, who also was kind enough to visit with us. I asked him what he learned about himself during the campaign.
I wondered whether I would get tired out. I mean, this campaign process goes on a couple of years, lots of flights, lots of trips. And what I found that surprised me is the more events I did, the more energy I seemed to get, the more passion that comes from the people. Their desire for change, if you will, gives me more energy and more commitment to the process. So I came away at the end of the day, instead of being exhausted, I had a hard time falling asleep. And that's just because of all the people that you meet and all they give to you of themselves.
Let me get back to football for just a moment, Governor. Do you have a favorite football team? I mean, I know when you were governor of Massachusetts, the Patriots won 2 Super Bowls. You grew up in Michigan. The Lions are better. Do you have a favorite team?
Well, it is the New England Patriots. I've lived in Massachusetts now 40 years, and I take personal full responsibility for their 2 Super Bowl wins, as well as the Red Sox winning the World Series. Hey, look, as a governor, you get blamed for everything that goes wrong. You might as well get the credit for what goes right.
If you could fix or change one thing in sports, anything, what would that be?
Well, it has to be the specter of drugs and performance-enhancing drugs of all kinds. That's the biggest concern in sport. As you know, I was associated with the Olympics for some time. That was always the issue that clouded a potential accomplishment. We've seen some of the greats in the world come down off their pedestal because of performance-enhancing drugs. We have to continue to battle that. We have to make sure that our technology keeps up with the people that are trying to skirt around the law. But ultimately, we get the bad guys who made the mistakes, and that's going to have to change in this country. We're going to have to change the culture that says to people using performance-enhancing drugs is acceptable. It is simply not.
You were around the best athletes in the world at those 2002 Salt Lake City Winter Olympics. What from that experience, being around them, opened your eyes and would serve you well in the White House?
Well, I got a chance at the Olympics to see the great qualities of the human spirit. I think most people watch the Olympics not just because of the interest in the sport itself. I mean, how many people were avid fans of women's bobsled, for instance, before the Olympics? But they watch the bobsled event because they get to see the character of human beings in, if you will, the crucible of sport. And you see greatness come out. You see people who, when they're pushed to their limit, are able to dig extraordinarily deep with determination and passion, conviction, sometimes patriotism, loyalty to their teammates. It's a place where you see what is beneath the surface of an individual human being, and you come away inspired.